Here in Alberta, first responders are out in the community every day saving lives. But sometimes their jobs can take a massive toll on their mental health. So how important is it to get ahead of these issues early?
In a day's work, first responders regularly experience traumatic events firsthand.
You know, I've been at this job for a long time now, more than 2 decades, and I have just seen way too many people who have really lost their lives, psychologically speaking, to the work that they've done for our communities.
According to Dr. McElhurin, it doesn't take long for that trauma to bleed into their own lives. To better help cope, the Alberta First Responders Association put on a one-day conference addressing mental health.
They need to give themselves time to wrestle with and process the horror and the grief and the disbelief of that situation, and not just expect themselves to be able to bounce back and get back to work, you know, at their typical stage of functioning the next day.
And before long, that same trauma will follow them home.
I know for myself, I was stuck in a rut. I was in the hole and I couldn't find my way out. I blew up my life, and then once I realized what I did, I finally reached out for help. It was almost too late, but I got there.
But now, first responders have access to more resources than ever before, from helplines to online programs and even therapy animals. A big change from 30 years ago.
Back in 1998, when I first started the volunteer fire department, we would go to traumatic calls, and there was no debriefing, there was no resources available.
All it takes is recognizing when that help is needed.
We need people to look people in the eye and tell them, you're not okay and we need to fix this.
You just don't think of it until that time comes around, and you don't think of it until, you know, either co-workers experiencing it or even just a family member that's dealing with something in their world, or even just somebody else that you know.
Any first responder struggling with their mental health can go to ourafra.ca for a full list of supports. Tristan, Mottershead, CBC News, Edmonton.